Welcome to Shift. In this episode, I will take a closer look at the Windows 8 Start Screen user interface. Currently, I have the Windows 8 Start Screen on my screen. We will begin by looking at the tiles on the Start Screen. The tiles essentially are buttons that will allow you to open an app by simply clicking on the app tile. So for instance, if I go ahead and click on the desktop app tile, it will go ahead and open the desktop. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my Start Screen by pressing the Windows key on my keyboard. And now that I'm back on the Start Screen, I'm going to go ahead and open up Internet Explorer by simply clicking on the app tile. And now, as you can see, Internet Explorer has been opened up. Once again, I'm going to return to the Start Screen by clicking on the Windows key on my keyboard. Now that I'm back on the Start Screen, I'd like to talk to you about some of the hidden bars that are within Windows 8. And there are quite a few hidden bars within Windows 8, and I'm going to start with the Charms bar. We can open the Charms bar really one of three ways. I can go ahead and hover in the upper right or in the lower right corners of my screen, and the Charms bar will open up. Or I can press the Windows C keyboard combination to open up the Charms bar as well. The Charms bar is designed to give a user quick access to commonly used settings and actions. And it should be noted that the Charms bar can be brought up from anywhere within Windows 8. This can be brought up from the Start Screen, like I'm doing now, or from any opened app. I am now going to go ahead and move to the left side of the screen to show you the next bar. If I hover in the upper left corner and scroll down a little bit with my mouse, you can see the switcher bar. And as you can see, there are thumbnails for the most recently opened apps. On the top is Internet Explorer, which was my last app I opened, and below that is Desktop, which I opened previously. If I go ahead and click on Desktop, it brings me to my desktop. Once again, the switcher bar can actually be utilized from a variety of locations, not just a Start Screen. So for instance, I can go ahead and open up the switcher bar from this screen as well. Again, hover my mouse in the upper left corner. And as you can see, let me do it again. And as you can see, there's a thumbnail for Internet Explorer. I click on that. And now I have been brought to Internet Explorer. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Start Screen by simply clicking on the Windows key on my keyboard. Now that I'm back in the Start Screen, I'm going to show you yet another bar that is at the bottom of the screen. This bar can be opened up by right-clicking on an app tile. So for instance, if I right-click on the Mail app tile, I will see the app bar. And there are a variety of things that you can do from within the app bar. I can unpin an app from the start, I can uninstall an app, I can resize apps, I can turn on or off live tiles. And there are other features that I can do from within this app bar depending on the app that I right-clicked upon. You can close all these bars, including the app bar, by clicking on an empty spot on the Start Screen outside of the open bar. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and click right over here to close the actual app bar. Another button that you may see on the Start Screen is usually in the lower left corner, and it's in the shape of a down arrow. When I click on this down arrow, I will see all the apps that I currently have on my PC. From this area, I can return to the Start Screen by pressing the Windows key on my keyboard or by clicking on the up arrow in the lower left corner of my screen. And once again, it brings me back to the Start Screen. The final area I want to show you on the Start Screen currently has my email address, or more appropriately, the email address associated with my Windows account. If I go ahead and click on this, I can change my account picture, I can lock my PC, or I can sign out of my user account. And once again, when I'm done with this area, I can just go ahead and click on any empty space on the start screen. Another important consideration of the start screen is that you can actually scroll on the screen. And what I mean by that, if you look in the right corner of my screen, it looks like I have some tiles that have been cut off. Well, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see I can scroll to the right. Or conversely, I can scroll back to the left, depending on what direction I want to go to. If you're using the trackpad, you can simply use the trackpad to scroll to the right or scroll to the left. The Windows 8 Start Screen user interface can be somewhat intimidating for those users who have never seen or used it. However, with a little understanding and practice, you can get a better handle on how to use Windows 8.